In this video, I'll show you how to complete a super easy woodworking project that's perfect for beginners. I'll explain all the steps and materials, so stay until the end to catch every detail. The wood I'll be using is pine. These two pieces together measure 2 meters and 70 centimeters in length. The width is 25 centimeters. I'll also be using this piece, which is approximately 1 meter long by 30 centimeters wide. I'll start by cutting 2 parts with 60 centimeters in length from the board that's 25 centimeters wide. From here, I'll cut 2 more parts, now with 56 centimeters in length. From the board that's 30 centimeters wide, I'll make 2 pieces, each measuring 36 centimeters in length. I'll trim the end to square it. Now, I'll run them through the thickness planer to standardize the thickness to 20 millimeters. On these 2 pieces, measuring 36 by 30 centimeters, I'll trim both sides, removing up to 2 millimeters to clean them up and make them straight. I'll do the same with the 2 parts measuring 60 by 25 centimeters and one of the parts measuring 56 by 25 centimeters. I'll cut a smaller piece from this one later. If you'd like to support the channel so more content like this can be produced, become a member by clicking the button below. On the 56 centimeter piece, I've cleaned one side and now I'll cut it to 11 centimeters wide. I'll add this wood to the project. It measures 6.5 by 3.5 centimeters. I'll make a few 45-degree angle cuts on it. Here, I'll cut 4 parts, each measuring 23 centimeters. In the next step, I'll make some markings on these 2 pieces that are 36 centimeters long. After cleaning the sides, they now measure 29.5 centimeters in width. I set the combination square to 14.7 centimeters and will mark it like this. On both ends. On both parts. Now, I'll switch to 57 millimeters and mark in the opposite direction. At all points. In the marked areas, I'll drill using a 35 millimeter Forstner bit. With a ruler, I'll draw a line. Like this, and like this. It turned out like this. I'll do the same with the other piece as well. With the jigsaw, I'll cut along the lines. I'll do the same with this other one. This is the result. Still on these two pieces, I'll make some more markings, now 4.5 centimeters from the corners. I'll mark like this. And like this. On both sides. Now, I'll use a can of varnish, positioning it so that it touches the markings. Here. And here. I'll repeat the same on the other side. I'll repeat the same process on the other piece. On the bandsaw, I'll cut along the markings. In the next step, I'll sand everything with 100 grit sandpaper. Well, next we'll assemble the item. I'll start with these two parts. I'll apply glue like this, and it will be glued here, leaving a 20mm gap where another part like this will be fitted, making sure they're perfectly aligned here. A piece will also be glued on this side. It's always good to check if the spacing is correct. Now, I'll make 2 drill holes near the ends. For this, I'll use a 2.5mm drill bit with a 6mm countersink. Screws like this one will be used here. It measures 3.5mm in diameter and 30mm in length. It looks like this. I'll repeat the same with this piece as well. Next, I'll attach this 60cm piece. I'll apply glue here, and it will be fixed like this, making sure everything is perfectly aligned. I'll also drill and secure it with screws here. Now this part will be fitted in the same way here. I used a clamp to hold it in place to prevent it from shifting. Now just drill and secure it with screws. The last parts will be fitted like this. I'll apply glue and then fit it in place. I'll fit the last piece like this. On the sides, I'll reinforce the fastening using these nails. They measure 32mm in length. I'll sand again to remove any remaining unevenness. To hide the nails, I'll drive them slightly into the wood using this rivet. Now I'll apply a bit of wood filler to cover them up. It looks perfect. I applied the same filler to hide the screws. Once it dries, just sand it down. I attached a 28mm corner rounding bit to the router and will round all the edges. Now I'll sand manually using 2-20 grit sandpaper. I'll sand mainly where I use the router. For corners where routing wasn't possible, I'll also sand to remove the sharp edges and avoid them being too sharp. To finish, I'll apply wood sealer and mix in some brown stain. I'll thin it with solvent and, as usual on this channel, apply it with this spray gun. Check out the links in the description and pinned comment for woodworking equipment and tips to enhance your craft. So, here is the completed project. It's a box for storing firewood, but it also works as an organizer. Let me know in the comments what you think about the work done. I'll be happy to respond. To support the channel and help us create more content like this, become a member or send a super thanks. Just click the buttons below the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.